morning, good morning, good morning. Do you know, it's been a funny weekend. Um, Saturday, it was the hottest time I've ever been to the market. I've been to a carnival when it's been a bright sunny day, but it was the first time I've actually been to the market when it's been a sunny day. Oh, I was so pleased. I put my chair the right side of my gazebo because at least then I could stay in the shade all day. And of course, and I took my antihistamines with me because it's the hay fever season round here, and yes, that's been an interesting one for me over the years. But you know what? I was really I'll admit to doing something that I shouldn't have done on Saturday. Well, I went out to when on the way back, I called in one of the supermarkets and got myself some more antihistamines. Well, I I'm too much of a cheapskate to buy a bag, so I carried everything. I didn't have that many things, so I just stacked them up and carried them in my arms. Well, the antihistamines were in a little box, and the best thing to do with the little box is to put them in my pocket. Well, um, a few hours later, when I got round to doing the washing, um, I forgot. Oh, I didn't take the antihistamines out of my pocket when I got in, and I forgot to check my pockets when I put my jeans in the wash. And when I got opened the washing machine, I thought, "What's that card there? What's that piece of card on the front of the door?" Looked at it and I thought, "Oh bother! That's the box, part of the box for the antihistamines." Oh dear. Um, got everything out, and it was a good job I washed my dark t-shirt on the inside out because all the bits of cardboard that got left in the washer after the on there stuck to the inside of my t-shirt and created a snow scene on the inside of my navy blue t-shirt rather than on the outside. So at least that's one thing. Um, but then there was sort of like no box. The box had pretty much disintegrated, no instructions, and two foil strips with antihistamines in. Um, I'm hoping that those foil strips are waterproof. If they're not, it's a case of, oh dear, I will need to do better than that. Hmm. But then, of course, I also had a strange one there. I suddenly finally dawned on me who my business partner was. I mean, I was joking with, and it only came about because I was joking with somebody. See, my business partner has four wheels and an engine. Uh, do you guess what it is? Well, it suddenly dawned on me that the model name for the vehicle that I drive is a partner. And my partner was loaded up to, well, I often say to the gunnels, up to about where you can windows. With there, all right. I'd got some my camping box in there, which takes up a bit of space. But other than that, the front seat and the back seat and the boot were pretty much full up to about the window. Just was so full I could just about I there was room for me to sit, and there was space for me I was able to see out through all the windows. But that was about all. And yes, my business partner was working hard at the weekend. It does work hard. By the time I've packed it up with a gazebo, um, because I have to take the seat out to put the gazebo in because my gazebo's so long. It's the only way I can actually get it in. if I can't fold it's just that bit too long for me to fold the seats down. I have to take the seat right the way out to make it fit in. So I have a car seat sitting inside the house on there. So my 5-seater becomes a 4-seater during most of the time. So I've got this gazebo laid out flat on the boot with sorted bags on top. Probably about a couple of dozen other boxes and bags in the car, filling up the footwell at the front, on top of the seat up to the front as far as the window, the footwell at the back, behind the passenger seat, up to the windows on the back seat. Yeah. My partner works hard on the weekend when it's market day. Mind you, there again, so do I. And you know what? I had one of the other store holders at the time who used to be on that part of the market and has now moved elsewhere. Came round just as I was putting my gazebo up and said, Susan, would you like a hand? And I thought, I am not going to look a gift horse in the mouth on this one. So Ian gave me a hand pushing up my gazebo. And you know, it's an awful lot easier putting up my gazebo with 2 people than it is with 1. Because with 2 people, see, it's sort of my gazebo is sort of like a pop-up one. It's sort of it folds down, a concertina that sort of like it folds up and down on there. But the only way I can do it by myself is to open it up part way and then get up into the middle and then push it up so that the frame unfolds. Well, when you've got 2 people doing it, you can get one either side and you can push it up at the sides and it unfolds that way. And believe you me, it is so much easier doing it that way. For starters, you don't have to crawl out. You can stand up next to it and push it up. You don't have to get down on your hands and knees and crawl underneath to get underneath the center post and push that up on there. And boy, is that a lot easier. That is also a lot easier on my back, I tell you. I really appreciate it when I have help putting that up. But I can do it by myself, and it's not that I'm the pleading the weak woman bits, because I wouldn't do that. But if somebody offers me a helping hand, I will, and realizes how much easier it is to do that bit when with 2 people than it is with 1. Why there? But thing is, that's one thing my business partner can't do. I mean, it just sits there on its 4 wheels and looks at me and says, I've done my bit. I've got it here. I can't do any more than that. I can't give you a hand putting it up. I've got it here for you. There. And it just, like I say, it just sits there and watches. And at that point, it's not a lot of help, really. It's sort of, you get it, once the gazebo's out and I'm trying to unfold it, my 4-wheel partner is not a lot of use, really, at that point, to get my gazebo up. But at least I get there, and at least I get it sorted on there, and it's there. And then this morning I was taking a tip from a millionaire. An unusual tip from a millionaire, actually. It's a guy called, I don't know what it was, and it was one of these well, one of the few people that I can think of that's some substantially older than me. But one of the few people I know that's involved with business that's actually older than my parents, not just me. Um, he's this guy is 90 years old, and he said one of his business tips is to go to spend 20% of your time sitting thinking. Now, the way that he would do it was to was he used to go spend a day a week in the library and just sit and think in the library and work his way through, and as he was thinking, sit through and think through all this, so like business problems and business issues. And they're very good at, in many ways it's a good idea, really, just literally to sit and think. And especially when there's this guy who was I mean, well, yeah, I mean, he was somebody that when well, in the year I was born, he went to a Billy Graham crusade, and that changed his life, and he sort of changed his way, changed his modus operandi with business, really. And he sort of got God on his side, and he spent a day a week in the library, him and God together, thinking, as he was thinking through and coming up with ideas and strategies and thing, and how and the ways to run his business. Yeah, and sort of one of his aims was to build a business that was sort of was able, so that he could give away more money than give away more money than anybody else. Strange target, but it's all. It's perfectly legitimate target to sort of make a whole load of money, so so that you can give it away on there, and support good causes on there. More in some ways, as much a Christian occupation as going around and saying, "Oh well, I want to do this, and I'm going to ask for money to get it done." Well, you can't ask for money unless somebody's made the money to give you. Can you really? So you need both. You need both sides of the argument on that. You need both sides of the coin there. That's getting into dodgy waters for me, because I'm just about to get on one of my hobby horses. Because one of my hobby horses is, if you once you get to know me a bit, is this idea that Christians should do everything using charity, because it's a church, therefore it needs to be a charity. That is one of my hobby horses, because that, I believe, is an absolute load of rubbish, bunkum, codswallop, or whatever else you want to call an utter pile of mm, manure, I think might be another way of putting it. Manure, dung, rubbish, basically. Um, but like I say, that's one of my hobby horses. So I'll jump off my hobby horse, and on there and there. So this morning on there, I wasn't, I did my time of sitting and thinking, and I was thinking about some of the things that I'm sort of looking at some of the issues that came up. One of the issues that came up on the market stall on Saturday, mold, and one of the things is, well, how do what are you actually doing, woman? And how are you communicating what you are doing to other people? So, and one of the things that sort of came up as I was talking to one of the other stall holders was when we were talking about this. how seasonal some businesses are. I mean, Joan was selling her plants, and she was saying that she really needs to get out there and sell a whole load of plants at the moment, because this is the time of year when she makes the money that'll help her pay the bills in over the winter. She needs to be going out there and selling loads and loads and loads and loads of plants now, so that when her business is not taking a lot of money in the winter, um, she has money to live on. And I mean, she I think she took most of January off, because there was very little point in making the effort to come in, because well, she wasn't going to sell. There was no wasn't going to sell very much, and it was going to cost her with the fuel to get fuel for a van, and the rent for the market stall, and she wouldn't make much of a. She would make more likely to make a loss than a profit in January. So she decided to cut a lot of them, take time off, and of course she needs the money from the summer to be able to help her pay the bills in January. On there, and of course a lot of trades are seasonal like that, aren't they? On there, and I was thinking, one of the things that I did years ago is I did a study on. I was looking at what selling jewelry, and actually had the opportunity to have a look in Durham. Durham University had access to Durham University Business School's library. I mean, yes, a bit Ming Library, all these fancy books for business students on there. And I was looking at some of the stuff of what it was saying about setting up a jewelry business. And one of the things that was really obvious when I did that book research was how seasonal the jewelry business is. See, the jewelry business is seasonal in a different sense. Over half the sales in the jewelry business, or most kinds of giftware, are in the last quarter of the year, so October, November, and December, when people are thinking about getting things for Christmas. So as there, when it comes to the other 9 months of the year, there might be a peak around Mother's Day and another peak around Valentine's Day. But the remaining 9 months of the year, less than half, about less than half the annual sales is split between 9 months. And by the time you get those peaks in February, and of course March is Mothering Sunday in the UK, and May is Mother's Day in the US. So depending on where you are, you'd get that the peak would be in a different place. So apart from those, you would be spread out. And I'm thinking, a lot of the things on that stall are really what people are buying for presents for other people. I mean, they buy the bags which say crochet is cool, and that's one of the popular ones. Or knitting is good for you. That's another one of the more popular ones. And they buy the bags, and then they put other things in the bags, on there. So really, a lot of the things on that stall with the bags and the mugs are really classified as giftware. And you know what? After probably, well, I'm going to say it's about time that one dawned on me. After doing that for about 6 months, it actually dawned on me for once that's really giftware, and it should be promoted as giftware rather than things for every day. And that would make my stall a little less confusing for people, because they come across and think they're going to find ordinary crafting stuff. Well, they don't. They find different things on there. They're not there. So yeah. So they. Oh, did you hear that? That was me notifications pinging for some reason. I don't know quite what that was all about. Never mind. So you've got there. So it's really now, because so many people come over and say, "Oh, I like that. Oh, that will be nice for a birthday present for so and so. Oh, I'll get that now, and that'll do for a Christmas present for so and so." And I'm thinking, oh, it really is comes under the category of giftware. If that's really giftware, I really need to, and that's what people are telling me, that the people who bought things are actually telling me that they want them things for. I think I better do a bit of adjustment on my site to make it obvious that those are presents, that what's on the stall are presents for people, or gifts, could be given as gifts to people, and the same on the website. So once I'm finished this, I'm going back to the everyonecancraft.shop site, and I'm going to readjust it a bit to make it really obvious that what's on that site are gifts for crafters on there, and hopefully that will make it a bit more obvious why people should buy stuff from it. But there again, it does need a bit of attention. It is, yes, it couldn't do with a bit of simplification. I also need to retire some of the designs on that site, actually. Not that there, because, well, if nothing else, I put a list of how many different designs there were down the side in the menu, and I counted them. There were 25. That's a lot to choose from, and they weren't split up very easily either. I've got a bit of work to do adjusting this. I've seen that there, and I knew it wasn't right, but I couldn't put my finger on what bit needed improving on there. And yeah, sitting down this morning for that long think, and sort of starting off saying, well, if that's gift, call that giftware, sort that out, right. And there, now how else can it be improved? And I literally sat, like I say, I got dressed and then lay on the bed for a couple of hours, just plain thinking. And that thinking is going to have consequences. And it wasn't me being lazy and lying down. It wasn't me being lazy and daydreaming. It was me taking the time to have a deep think about what I was doing, because that is there. And it was me actually operating according to my God-given design. That's the sort of, I'm one of those people that needs to take their time and think things through carefully on there. All right. It's good to include find a way of including divine support on that. That's a very good way. And they're saying, right, however you want to visualize that, whether you want to visualize that as something, my favorite way is sort of to lie on the bed and to think of myself sitting on a chair in the office with an angel on the other side, and saying, hey, would you just give me the message of what's on my what's the best way there? You've seen what's the blueprints and the plans are in heaven. And can the two of us just have a discussion over this about what we're going to do, and and you give me some advice, and so like do it like counselors. I mean, that's a good a way of doing it as any. Um, yes, I know it sounds a bit strange, but it works. If it works, if it put it like this, if it works, it's legal, it's decent, and it's not unscriptural. Okay, fair enough. That's my way of doing that. So I can I will that is what I sat and did this morning. And do you know what? I came up with all sorts of ideas and links, and it'll keep me busy for a day or two. That just sort of juggling around with the website and making it look different, and even doing some different signs to go on the stall, because I'm going to end up doing a new sign for the stall, saying gifts for crafters, and probably in brackets, and for you, and presents for yourself, if and also presents for yourself. I think I might put that on there, so you've got so it's a little bit more obvious what it's all about, because otherwise people do get, it can be a little bit confusing on there, and people keep on asking me for things that I haven't got, as I'm no intention of stocking, because other people do that. I'll leave that to other people. hmm So I am going to go and get on with that website, and I will leave you, good people. And there you are. That's my Monday update. Bye.